Hello everyone, my name is Cullen, back with you with another video. Today I have Dan, one of our certified technicians. We're going to be talking about heartworm facts. I'd like to start out with a quote by Howard Upton. "My dog is always happy to see me. No matter what, we could all learn a thing or two from our four-legged friends." Now I'd like to start out also with a statistic. According to the Triennial American Heartworm Society Incidence Survey, the average number of dogs diagnosed with heartworm per clinic in 2016 was 21.7% higher than the number diagnosed in 2013. And today let's talk about heartworm, what it is and how it's used, what animals it's used for, and how often to take it, when to get it. So let's start off with what is heartworm? What you hear it all the time. Heartworm, you gotta make sure your dog's on heartworm, but what actually is heartworm and what does it do?
Heartworm is a parasite. It is spread with mosquitoes. It is very common in the United States. So we do see it fairly often in dogs, much less so in cats, but it is still present. So we do have an easy way of preventing it. So it is preventable illness.
Okay. Now, when you preventable illness, what are the doses like for it? Like, is it one time a day? Is it every month? Or how does that work?
Most of our preventives are easy to administer. They are once monthly chewables. They come in several different flavors for dogs, and for our cats, they come in topicals.
Okay. Now, so you mentioned they're transferred. How do dogs contract heartworm? And how do cats do it? Is it the same way?
It is the same way. The dogs and cats contract heartworm through mosquitoes.
Okay. Is it any type of mosquitoes or?
It is any type of mosquitoes can carry the microfilaria, which are the baby heartworms.
Okay. Is it only mosquitoes or is there any other way that?
It's only mosquitoes.
Only mosquitoes.
Only mosquitoes.
Okay.
Ticks and fleas do not carry heartworm. It is only the mosquitoes that do.
Okay. So what are the symptoms of heartworm?
Symptoms can vary.
Okay.
Depending upon the animal, we can see things like coughing, lethargy, which is just being tired all the time, to even in cats we can see sudden death with it. So it is a very serious problem.
Okay. Now, how do you know if a dog needs heartworm, or what's the proper procedure of going, or symptoms that you should go see a vet, or to get heartworm?
So we do recommend testing dogs. We do a test, it's called a 4DX, and that test is done in-house. It takes about 8 minutes. And that test not only tests for heartworm, but it also tests for ehrlichiosis, anaplasmosis. So those are some other tick diseases that we see in the area. So the test is very common. We do it on most of our patients that are dogs here. We do recommend it at least every other year, but every year is really best.
Okay. So every year is the best way to go.
That's the best
way to
way
be
to
safe.
go. Yes.
Just so you don't get heartworm.
Yes.
Okay. Now is heartworm contagious? Can humans catch it, or can other dogs get it? Other animals?
Humans are not my field of study. so I can't say about humans. You have to ask your family physician about that one. I can speak for the dogs and cats though.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats can carry the microfilaria, which are the baby heartworm. They can carry it in their bloodstream. Okay. And then if a mosquito comes along and bites them, and then goes over to the other dog in the house and bites through the dog, that's how heartworm is contracted. Okay. So it can be passed
through the dogs and animals.
Passed through other animals.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's always good to know. So you were talking about earlier, how to test for heartworm. Now to go into more depth in that, what does it exactly test for? There's a machine is it do they draw blood? Mm-hmm. Is it a stool sample, or what kind of what's the exact procedure? If you just want to walk me through how testing for heartworm.
Okay. When you bring your animal in for what we call a heartworm test or a 4DX test, okay, we'll have you sign a waiver saying that it's okay to draw blood off of your animal. We need about 3 drops, so it's a very, very small amount.
Not much blood.
Yeah, not much blood at all. So even if you have a 3-pound Chihuahua, we can do it. Okay. We take that blood and we actually run an in-house test. Okay. So we do it right in-house, right in the back here at River Valley, and the test takes 8 minutes to run.
Not very long.
Yeah, so it's not a very long test at all. So we can get you results right away.
Now, what are they looking for with the test results? Is there a certain chemical that it's by, or do test results just say heartworm? I mean, how how does the machine read it for people that are wondering, you know, what exactly does the machine spit out to you guys?
Aha, okay. So what we're testing for is something called an antibody. An antibody is a chemical that's produced by your body, okay, in response to something that has traveled into your body.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're looking for is actually the chemical that's produced in reaction to having the heartworm.
Okay, and that chemical is then you'll be able to determine if it's heartworm or something else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. So what are some steps that can be, you know, taken to prevent heartworm? You know, can we on a daily prevent it, or is it something that may just happen at random, or is there ways that we can, you know, protect our dogs and animals from getting heartworm?
Okay, good question. The heartworm is actually pretty easy to prevent.
Okay.
Okay. They make once monthly chewables for dogs. As I mentioned earlier, we carry 2 different brands here, which are pretty popular just due to their taste. The dogs think they're a treat most of the time. So we carry Interceptor and we carry HeartGuard.
Okay.
Both of these will prevent heartworm, as well as some of the internal parasites, which we see in the area too. So it's a really good product.
Okay.
to
Now
keep on hand.
how does it preventative? How does it prevent, you know, for dogs getting heartworm? Like how does it work inside? You know, how does it chemically work so the dog doesn't actually get it? Now, you know, something like that medicine. How does taking it prevent, you know, mosquito, even if it does carry vaccine? Now, is it guaranteed that they won't get heartworm, or is it, you know, just a preventative, almost like a flu shot, where it's, you know, you get the flu shot just hoping that, you know, prevents from the virus, or something similar like that?
Okay, HeartGuard is the first product that I'll discuss. HeartGuard is a flavored chewable. It is ivermectin based, which is a pretty common and safe drug. Okay, that's going to prevent heartworm as well as some of the internal parasites such as hookworms and roundworms. It is a once monthly flavored chewable again. These are beef flavored. Okay, so for our dogs.
I feel like dogs would really like the beef flavor.
Yeah, for the dogs that like the beef flavor, these are great. Okay, and again, they do carry a 100% guarantee on them, so we highly recommend them. The other product is Interceptor. Interceptor is mobamycin. This is another very safe drug that we use, and it prevents things such as heartworm and hookworm and roundworm. It also has a 100% guarantee, and these are pork flavored. The third one that we have is called Revolution. Revolution is a topical for our dogs that really don't like to eat treats,
Okay.
and for our cats as well. As I said before, heartworm is much less common in cats, but we do see it on occasion, so we do recommend heartworm preventative for all of our animals.
Now, you just said like heartworm's a lot less common common in cats. Now, is there a reason why it's less common in cats, or is it just kind of, you know, just out of chance that mosquitoes like dogs more than cats? I mean, is there a reason behind it? I mean, has there been any like studies on why?
The reasoning behind that is that because cats tend to be smaller than dogs, there's just not as much room in their hearts because their hearts are smaller.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't see it as common because there's only so many worms that can fit into a heart.
Okay.
Dog hearts are larger, so we can see greater quantities of worms in them.
All right. Now, so out of those 3, do they have any like side effects that, you know, consumers should be worried about when giving them to their dogs? You know, everybody wants to make sure the dog is safe when taking medicines. Now, are there any side effects that people should know of, or that they tell you, you know, to be aware of and such?
The biggest side effect that we see is gastrointestinal upset, so things like vomiting and diarrhea. These can happen with any product that is taken by mouth, so we don't tend to see it more with this than with any other treat that you would give.
Okay. Now, if my pet has heartworm, will the preventatives like be effective? Now, you said they're 100%, you know, they have a guarantee. Now, what happens if those don't work? Are there other solutions, or is there like, no, what's the different route? So if, for say, in some case that heart, you know, the heartworm or HeartGuard wasn't effective for the dog.
Okay. There is treatment for dogs that already have heartworm. It is much lengthier and it is much more expensive, which is why we recommend the once monthly treatments.
Okay. So like the one that's much more expensive, that's after the treatments haven't worked, or is that like, can it be in replacement?
We don't recommend it in replacement.
Okay.
We always recommend preventative over treatment for the actual heartworm disease.
Excellent. All right, so let's well, as we wrap things up here, one last question for you. How do I schedule an appointment for my pet to get checked for heartworm at River Valley?
Oh, okay. That's an easy question to answer for you. We can actually test that during your normal annual exam, or if your pet has already had its exam, you can actually just give us a call.
Okay.
And one of us technicians can draw the blood.
One technician. So if you're already a client in within River Valley, we can actually just go, make a technician appointment.
Yeah.
And you guys can do it.
Yeah, if your pet has been seen already within the past year,
Okay.
just give us a call and we can set you up with a time to come in.
Okay.
An appointment with one of us technicians. We'll draw the blood and have answers for you that day.
Okay. Now for new clients, which do have to make an appointment, will you still be able to get answers that day? Does it have to be seen with a doctor, or how does that work for, say, a new client? Somebody watching is like interested, somebody out there is interested in coming to River Valley. How would they go? Say, figure they have no idea where the next step to go. They're watching us here, have no step. How do we get those people out there, to come into River Valley and make sure that they're getting their, proper stuff and the proper heart guard and treatment to make sure the dog is safe and healthy?
Okay, that's easy. First thing to do is pick up the phone.
All right,
call us 724-274-5575.
Okay.
That's our telephone number. Give us a call. Set up an appointment with one of our doctors.
Okay.
We do have 3 available doctors right now.
Okay.
So if you just want to give us a call, we'll set you up with a time to come in. You'll meet with the doctor. They'll get to meet your pet, give any vaccines that are due, if applicable. Okay. And then we can draw the blood and have answers for you that day.
Oh, excellent. So it's easy. Either way, they'll be able to get results the day that they come in for their appointments.
Exactly.
Excellent. All right. Well, Dan, thank you for talking to us about heartworm, and thank you everybody for listening. Hopefully, you guys stop in and get your dogs checked out for heart guard. Make sure they're safe. And thank you guys for watching. See you again soon.
All right. Thank you.